Okay, first tell me who you are.
My name is Joan Mercado, and I was born and raised in New York City, in the Bronx to be precise. And I had a stroke in 2013 on September the 28th. They thought I wouldn't pull through because I got very, very sick, and I even caught a brain infection, and I had burst the cranial artery to my head. But I praise the Lord that I'm still kicking and I'm still getting on everybody's nerves, but it's taken a lot of work. I'm doing exercise. I'm down to 210 pounds from 432. I've lost half of me. I plan to lose at least 30 more pounds because I don't want to look anorexic either. I'm at that stage where, looking good means a lot to me right now. I have two children, and both of them are very healthy. I praise the Lord for that too. I have 11 grandchildren and 13 great-grandchildren. So if I'm still kicking for that, I'll be kicking when I have the great-great-grandchildren. So I'm very pleased with that. Anyone who goes on a diet and loses weight, you'd be surprised how your energy just zooms up. I know that sometimes you feel like giving up, but that's not an option. Just keep on going. Be persistent, because that persistence will pay off. Don't deny yourself. If your body craves a chocolate cookie, give it a chocolate cookie, just so that you don't overindulge in it. Try to keep away from sodas, because that'll do a number on your stomach. Being that you're losing weight, your stomach acid increases. That if you drink soda, you tend to get a lot of gas. And trust me, walking and farting is not very good. So anyone who loses their weight, I'll tell them congratulations, because I know it's hard, but it's worth it in the long run. Like I said, persistence does pay off.
Joan, so how much of this is part of your faith? Do you look for strength?
Oh, yes, I believe in my Lord 100%. I ask him every day to give me the strength and the stamina to keep on going. And he's never let me down. Like I said, I went through a very hard time with the stroke, and a lot of people didn't think I was going to make it through, but I told them, that I went up to heaven. God threw me out because he says he wasn't ready for me. I went down to hell. The devil threw me out because he says I make him look too good. So I'm still here.
Was it a lifestyle change, or was it falling in love with Jesus Christ as your...
It's a falling in love with Jesus 100%. I mean, without him, you cannot do anything. And his faith above all, like it says in the Bible, the faith of a mustard seed will go a long way. And it does.
So, my wife is also an addiction counselor. Would you say that your food was your addiction? Did you find comfort in food? Or what was the reason for...
Actually, my parents brought me up feeding me like if there were no tomorrow.
That was to make you feel comfortable or good?
Actually, it was to make me look good, according to them. A fat baby is a healthy baby. But they did more damage than they did good.
And how old are you now?
I'm 62 years old.
You look great for 62, Joan.
Thank you. I have very few gray hairs, which I thank my dad for.
And you said your grandfather lived to be the age of what?
103.
And your dad lived to be the age of?
81. And he passed on because my dad developed lung cancer from where he worked.
Ah, okay.
So it was pretty tough on him. If not, I'm sure he would have made it up to the hundreds still. Because 2 weeks before he passed on, we had this beautiful dance together. And I'll never forget that. Ever, ever. You know, I know my dad loved me and I loved him with all my heart. And that was the best present he could have ever given me, that last dance.
So you're giving God all the glory for your turnaround, makeover?
Definitely.
This is a renovation. This isn't just changing the color
this
of the
is all,
the paint.
all God. This is His will, not my will. This is His will. And I try to live according to His will.
And so prayers are very important to you.
Yes, every day my prayers, every day. I pray for my children, I pray for the world, period. Because we're in a tough time now, but, you know, the Lord knows what He's doing. So I don't question Him.
And how long you have been under this program? Does it include exercise?
Yes, exercise, diet, mental health.
Okay.
You know, I see a psychologist because, you know, it really scared me.
Right.
And there are still moments when I'm afraid of falling, you know, and that fear. I have to let that fear not consume me like it was doing before. But the therapy is healthy.
Okay.
It's healthy.
And when you had your stroke, obviously that affected your body in a significant way.
Yes, it did.
Did you have any, at that time, were you able to move 100% or did it affect?
No, not at all. I wasn't able to move because every time I stood up or something, I would get extremely dizzy. And because you have to understand, I burst my cranial artery and I had a brain bleed.
Oh my.
Yeah, which made it even more difficult. But, you know, like I said, I put myself in the Lord's hand and I told Him, let it be your will.
Jesus Christ is the great physician.
Yes, He is.
He's gone and He's borne all of our sicknesses and diseases.
And there are people who still don't believe in Him.
And we know that He's taken those on the cross and He's died and shed His blood for our lives. And I just want to thank you, Joan, for sharing your testimony. I know that I'm encouraged by it. And the people in First Place for Health, which is a Christian-based weight maintenance program, will be thrilled to hear your life story. And so I wanted to thank you very much for giving me some insight.
No problem. You can park right there.
And I do appreciate that. And I'm going to ask that if I could take just a photograph of you so they
no problem.
They can put a face with a voice.
Let me put myself real quick.
All right. All right.